Your consciousness is sent back to when you were at age 15, and you maintain all of your current knowledge and experience. What do you do? Well, knowing me, I don't make the stupid choices I made for the past 31 years. But also knowing me, I would make total different stupid choices. Because I'm human. Just because I could now avoid the traps I had fallen into back then, this does not mean I would not fall into different traps. But hopefully the sum total would be a better life. I know there are career changes I would make. There are financial decisions I would do a better job with. For instance, on the day I graduated college, Apple stock sold for 15 cents a share. If I had bought $5,000 worth of Apple stock that day, I could sell that today for $4.6 million. So there's that. Focus on high school a bit better. Try and keep in touch with my best friend at that time a bit better after she moved across town. Talk with my dad more about family and stuff. Apologize for being a little shit in middle school more. Figure out my major a lot faster. In fact, I'd take school teachers and administration less seriously. I obeyed every word of theirs just to look good in their eyes, which did me no good. It's hard to live like yourself when you are still finding it. It takes those awkward years to full grasp who you are and is an important step to self-realization. You should be that unsure when you are that age. Honest, just the knowledge that lots of 15-year-old me was agonizing over and worrying about ultimately didn't bring about the end of the world would help. I didn't know which things to stress about and which ones I could let go of. Good dental hygiene, floss, brush twice a day always. Make exercise a part of the day. It is harder to get this into routine as you get older. Plus the fitter you are when you're younger, the more it will tide you through when older. Continue pursuing things that I find interesting, even if I am not and will never get good at them. It is wonderful to have things to enjoy for the sake of it. Be nicer to my parents, especially my mom. It is a lot of responsibility, and they did their best. Take feedback and criticism in stride, and not let every negative thing make me question everything. I take my little brother to the hospital because he has a tumor that no one knows about. I tell my dad that he shouldn't sell his company because we end up homeless. I buy Bitcoin. I live with my family and appreciate them. I go to a hit many years later and find the waitress. I ask her on a date. Hopefully I can keep both my families this time. Buy up domain names and sell them after internet gets more mainstream. Get some Bitcoin. Put a lot of effort into regular working out. Learn professional cooking skills so I can whip up fancy food for myself. I think the truth is, if this were to happen, the results would turn out to bittersweet. It's easy to solve past problems in our minds, and maybe those solutions would actually work in a time travel scenario. But life adapts, and new, unexpected situations always show up. So I'd probably end up running into another problem further down the line and regretting a different decision. There's a lot of comments in this thread about taking advantage of financial decisions. Maybe I'd become a Bitcoin billionaire. But who's to say that I wouldn't suffer the same fate as lottery winners? Taxes, bankruptcy, fake friends, etc. Everyone saying what they do better while I be having a total mental breakdown. Can you imagine going back to living with your parents? Waking up at 6 a.m. to get a bus to in class at 8 a.m. Taking exams again. Having to study all over again. I have nightmares about this. Please no, I'd rather stay an adult please. Take a different course in college. IT perhaps. Stay off the internet. Be more open and social. Work on my interpersonal skills. Build connections. Build a better relationship with my family. All the fun of these hypotheticals vanished the moment my daughter was born. I know that realistic I'd never be able to recreate the exact circumstances to have the same child, but I'd have to put everything I have into trying. Doing otherwise is unimaginable. It would be years and years of stress and planning and dread, knowing that I'm essentially doomed to fail at the only thing that matters, the one thing I'm trying desperate to achieve. Along with the constant feeling that I'm being an idiot to pour myself into something that will never work, and the guilt of even contemplating giving up. And there's basically no good ending. Eventually I either have a child who's clearly not her and try desperately not to burden them with my grief, or I have a child who might be her and I spend the rest of my life struggling to deal with thoughts of, is it real her? Without my preoccupation messing her up, or I give up and lie feeling like I abandoned my daughter and erased her from existence. And God, my poor wife in all of this. Basically, what if you got to redo your life? Used to a fun thought experiment. Then I met the love of my life and adopted a couple cats, and it got more emotional complicated. Then I had a perfect baby girl, and imagining this scenario became like imagining hell. People here are getting rich or saving lives, but I'm 100% using this as an opportunity to deploy all the clever responses I came up with hours later in response to various people. I still have a lot of them memorized thanks to my brain's love of reviewing stupid things I've said and done over the decades late at night, so I feel pretty prepared. Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe and like this video if you enjoyed it.